Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala khayril mursaleen. Muhammadin Nabi al-Ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd, yaqulu Allah ta'ala fil Quran al-Kareem. Inna Allaha wa malaikatuhu yusalluna 'alan nabi. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu tasliman. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Mulana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In the last week or so, we've been passing out folders. And the folders have several flyers in it that kind of give an idea about where we're going and some of the things that's been happening. And we're going to continue in that form. We got a few things that we want to do. One of the things we're going to do is just like these videos, in each one of these packages, we're going to put probably 2 of these videos to explain the pictures. So that's part of the grand jury evolution. That what we're doing is we're evolving. And when you got the video and you got the pages in front of you, it's easier for the audience or the people to follow where we've been and where we're trying to go. So starting now, that's why we're calling this grand jury. Because remember, for a couple of years, we've been on that tip about, actually it's been more than that, but we just started talking about it. Grand jury. A grand jury is when you present your case to a jury of people, and the other team don't have nothing to say. You know, the people that it's against. But in a way, this makes our job very easy because the other team have put out countless statements. They put it all on, they put half of it, they put on video. They put it on video and they're still putting it on video. I haven't seen I don't look at it because it would alter, it might alter what we're doing and saying. But every now and then I catch a glimpse of what they're up to. They called me the other day and said, "You gotta watch this and at least the last part." I said, this is what it was not only a call, but it was, what is it, the text.
Listen to text.
Yeah, they said, they use now, they use one of their numbers, you know, because I guess the text won't the caller ID, I don't know. But they send it. Okay, so what I'm gonna start with is some of the flyers. And I'm going to start by the statement that we made last week. The statement last week was very clear. It was dealing with Imam I hope y'all excuse me. I was supposed to, when I got some other stuff done, I was supposed to get a few copies of this, but I didn't do it. I'll do it in a day or so, inshallah. So, if we start with the main one, this one right here, if we start with this, Imam abdul-alim Musa assaulted in Masjid. Really, we don't start there. We start way back. And I want to give the people in the audience an idea of technically what's been going on in Oakland. In order to do that, first I have to start, all of y'all are familiar with these two pictures. You're very familiar with these two pictures. These go back over 50 years. One is the Black Panther regalia. You could see the Huey Newton buttons and all of that. Now, we believe that America at that time did not come to power with civil liberties and all that. We, in marching in the street, they took everything they had. They were basically gangsters. This is what we believed about America. We believe that our Italians didn't get powerful by just, that was in the mafia days, by just demanding that you treat Italians nice, right? No. When they developed the mafia and they got powerful all over the country, that affected Hollywood, that affected everything. Pretty soon they was treating the Italians fine because they had respect. This was our feeling about the Negro, black people. Our feeling was that you don't get power by marching in the street and making those demands. We believe our goal was that if young black men could control the neighborhoods around the United States, then they would be able to control their community, their wealth, and they would be able to develop strength or even in support of the civil liberties. See, like if people was marching and jumping up and down, if we get strong enough, if we could control our affairs, then we could help support them. In the mix is something called what we was calling East Oakland Enterprises. East Oakland Enterprises was basically a company we kicked off, and East Oakland Enterprises was a black enterprise zone. That means, come to think of it, East Oakland, or Oakland was a perfect size. Chicago might have been too big. LA might have been too big. It never happened in none of those cities. The only place this happened in the United States was Oakland. But in 1968, it demanded a decision. You're going to keep like this? Of course, everybody at that time, W.L. Nolan had just been killed in the yard. They were starting to move physically on African Americans. Looked a certain way, acted a certain way, attended certain places. So we had a decision. You're going to keep this regalia on right here? Or are you going to organize your people? There's a reason for this organization. Technically, people in Oakland were not talking that much about Black Panthers. They wasn't the in crowd. The in crowd was East Nicosia. The in crowd was the Cadillac driving, alligator shoe wearing, wave having Negroes all over the United States. The black movement was in the news all the time, but in the society, they was talking about, man, did you see Big Johnny just drive by? In those days, if Big Johnny just drove down Benning Road, they said, yeah, man, I saw Big Johnny just drove down the road. Remember, all our heroes were still in the neighborhood. All the people we looked up to were still in the neighborhood. We didn't have no Hollywood coming to see us. If Jim Brown made 100 rifles or something, that was brand new, right? We didn't have When the Temptations came on television, everybody was watching it. It was still like that. You know, when somebody black showed up, everybody was watching in the media. Blacks did not show up in the newspapers except for civil rights and black nationalism. Okay, so we had to make a decision. We believe our decision was correct. Either stay like this or join the crowd. The people were talking about this. Big car. Hey man, this is the most famous car in the region right here. It's called the Edgewood. Now you know how the niggas do. The white man just take Fleetwood off, put some stuff on it, and call it Edgewood. That means you got the edge on other niggas. The white man is slick, boy. And niggas go for it. Me being one of the niggas, I got a big H right here, of course. Boy, that H is pretty serious. You may not believe it, but one of my friends had a Broham too. Well, all of them had. But the only thing he didn't have, his initial was H, and he didn't have no H. And he couldn't put it on his car because he would be copying me. And he was mad. Another one of my friends, I was at my record shop, and one of the little boys came and got one of the famous pimps by the hand and walked him over to my car. And he said, see, he got an H on there. The pimp was, we was all friends, but that was still jealousy and competition. So, okay, this is what was happening. If y'all were old enough, you would realize that the people talked about in the neighborhood were not the Black Panthers Party. It wasn't the next meeting you're going to at the Black Panther Party. It would be the nightclub you're going to. How many women you got. That was really the way it was. So we changed to this. We changed from this 68 to this 1970 or 69. The other thing was, why is the Americans so hopped up about us? Because Oakland has the size, Oakland has a history, not only in sports, in politics, and all of that, but Oakland has a history. You know, the seriousest gangsters on the West Coast come out of Oakland. People would come to Oakland to get the game on how to do what. The hustlers would come to Oakland to study macking. That's what they would come there for. Then they'd go back to Seattle or go back to wherever they were. They came to Oakland to study. Just like the police were studying us, so was the Negroes. How is this happening? Everybody came to Oakland. It's just that, how can a little town like Oakland, 300, 400,000 people, be the focus of things in the United States? It just happened that everything came out of Oakland at that time. San Francisco was right across the way. They had Fillmore Slim, they had all of them. But it didn't have the same gravity as Oakland did. Okay, so this was our decision. We feel that we made the right decision. So we want to tell people that there was a Black economic enterprise zone in Oakland. We didn't send money out of the community, we brought money in the community. And money circulated in the community. That was in our administration only. When the other people came later, I can't mention all their names, some of them are still running around. Some are preachers, some are retired pimps and all of that. But look, They did not, they still got money, but they got money for themselves. I want to make a difference. When we got big money, we said, everybody can get a piece of this. That's the difference. Most people are stingy. If you run up on a pot of gold and you find it, would you do like a bird when they see some beautiful plums in a tree, they call all other birds? Or would you cover it up and hide it? The human being would hide it. The pimp, the hustler, everybody else would say, I'm getting money for me and I'm getting money for my family. None of them hardly would ever say, we getting money for everybody. Niggas can have big money and we gonna get it here in Oakland. That was the idea. Guess what? It worked. That was a time when people from 18 to 25 was having big money in Oakland. They were bringing money into the community. The money was circulating around in the community at a special time during history. That has not happened before. Money come in the black community, then it goes out. It comes in on the 1st and the 15th, and by the 3rd and the 17th, the money is gone. Drugs, alcohol. Those people collect the money, the concentration of wealth. The store owners, the Koreans, all those people are outside of the community. They collect the